Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the Global Career Forum, the international online recruiting event organized for the MBA students from top business schools. We welcome you to today's online session with Amadeus, and we have the pleasure to welcome for this live session our keynote speakers, Arina Codreanu, the Talent Acquisition Employer Brand Specialist, and Thomas Hunter, the Talent Acquisition Employer Branding. As this is a live Q&A session, I do invite all participants to ask your questions in the Q&A panel on the top right side, and we will convey them to the speakers. Arina and Thomas, warm welcome.
Hello everybody. I'm Arina, as Sana presented me before. Thank you very much, Sana. And thank you very much for offering us the opportunity to be in contact with the students from the universities, from the MBAs. So my name is Arina Codreanu. I'm from Romania. I've been studying in Romania, then in the UK and in Spain. And after finishing my studies, I found out the opportunity to work to be as a trainee here at Amadeus. I started as a trainee in the recruitment department, and then I continued as a permanent employee. And currently, I'm working in the talent acquisition team. So there have passed 6.5 years here in Amadeus, and what I liked the most from the very beginning, because I started as a trainee, so my opinion counted. Your opinion counts, even though you're a starter, even though, of course, if you have more experience. So yeah, I love Amadeus. I love my job, and also because it's really, really multinational environment. We will see later on in our presentation. So speaking of multinationality, I'm going to pass to Hunter.
Hi everyone, my name is Hunter Thomas. I am from the US originally. I've been with the company now for about a year. Actually, in about a week or two, it'll be a year. I did my MBA at ESA in Barcelona a few years back. Before that, I was in Japan working, and then I moved to Barcelona. Went back to the US for a few years and was working in recruiting, talent acquisition for a retail company in the US for a while. And then I finally made the move back to Spain about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And I've been with the company now for about a year. I do talent acquisition and employer branding. I manage a lot of the campus recruiting that we have here for the Madrid headquarters. So I do a lot of recruiting and employment marketing for our graduate positions that we have here at the headquarters in Madrid.
Okay. So just to give you a little bit more information about us, about Amadeus. So we are a global company. We have offices all over the world, except for 2 countries, North Korea and Afghanistan. So as you can see in the map, we have offices in Paris, in London, in Erding, in Tokyo, Bangkok, in Bangalore. We also have in Dallas, Orlando, Miami, Buenos Aires. And today we are representing our offices from Madrid headquarters. But of course, if you will have questions related to our other offices or related to opportunities that we have in other offices, then we will be more than happy to talk offline. You can contact us via LinkedIn, and we can put you into contact with our colleagues from those offices. Okay. We have a diverse and dedicated team, as you can see. We are more than 16,000 employees all over the world, belonging to more than 146 nationalities, and we speak 62 languages. To give you an example, the example from our Madrid offices, we are more than 1,000 employees right now, and we speak more than 53 different languages, something very common here at Amadeus. Right, and well, speaking of our customers, so we are a technology company. We develop the software programs for the travel industry, and our customers are the travel agencies, the online travel agencies, the tour operators, along with the airlines, airports, hotels, rail, and rental car companies as well. And we are expanding our business. Here, as you may know, in the European market, our main competitor is Sabre, and in the United States, we have Travelport. And then, well, one of our customers from an airline, really well-known airline company from the United States is Southwest. Okay. So Hunter is going to give you more information about Amadeus in Madrid, about the career opportunities.
Yes, so here in Madrid is where our corporate headquarters are. So we have, going back to that, kind of our global positions around the world, we have key sites located in different countries, and our major headquarters is here in Madrid. We have another big R&D center in Nice in France, and also in Bangalore. Our distribution center is in Germany. But with our headquarters being here in Madrid, we have a lot of our business support functions. So you'll find a lot of our finance roles, marketing, communications, HR, a lot of these business-related positions are here in Madrid. So we don't have very many technical positions or these kind of tech jobs here in Madrid. A lot of those will be in France, in Nice, but most of our business functions are here in Madrid. And we have a career site, jobs.amadeus.com, where you'll find all of our open positions, and you can kind of filter by the countries that you're interested in and see what positions that we have open at that time. And I believe that's it for the presentation.
Yep. Great. So you mentioned that you have a big business center and also headquarters in Madrid. I was wondering, in terms of positions that you're currently recruiting for that are applicable for MBAs, are these only full-time opportunities? Are there also any internships?
So we don't have internships here in Madrid. There could be more internship opportunities in different sites. But some of those internships might be more applicable to developers and these types of technical profiles. So here in Madrid, we do just have the permanent positions mainly for MBAs.
Excellent. And as you mentioned before, Alina, in the beginning, the nice representation of nationalities working at Amadeus. Often question that rises up in these sessions is, do you then sponsor for work permit for international students?
Mm-hmm. It depends on the position. It's true that, for example, for entry-level positions, we don't sponsor for visa, and this is because of the Spanish regulations that quite limits us at that stage. But let's say for the positions where we are looking for people with more experience, let's say a minimum of 7 years of experience, then we can consider sponsoring for visa. Even though we sponsor for the visa, it's true that we cannot be 100% sure that the future employee could receive it, right? But yes, for some positions we do offer sponsorship for visa.
Great.
And then sorry to interrupt you. And then it depends. This happens in Madrid. But then it depends on the legislation from the country as well, from the other countries. If somebody is interested in any other office, please let us know, and we can coordinate with our colleagues from abroad. Because of course it will depend on the diplomatic relationships that the countries have in between them, right? So the conditions may be different.
Perfect. Thomas, you mentioned the very end where candidates can apply if they're interested in opportunities with Amadeus. Could you walk us through quickly, basically, what are the typical steps in the interview recruiting process? What can candidates expect once they submit in the application?
Sure. So it does depend on the position that you're applying for. For all of our positions, it'll start with a phone screening with a member of the recruitment team, the HR team here in Madrid. So once we have feedback from the hiring manager in terms of your applications, once you've already applied in the system, and we have a list of candidates that the hiring team is interested in, then that'll start the phone screening with HR. And then depending on the position, there could be some assessment tests that follow that. So we have an online assessment center where we test English and numerical reasoning mostly. We also have a logical test that is applicable to some positions. And then depending on the candidates that successfully meet the minimum requirements of these tests, it'll go on to face-to-face or, Skype or WebEx type interviews with the hiring manager and the team. And then during the interview process, there could be some business cases that are organized by the hiring team, and then another interview with HR again.
Perfect, thank you. An interesting question coming in from Philippe: how soon can candidates apply before starting the job? For example, in his case, he's doing an MBA at EU, and the program ends in December.
For most candidates in this type of situation, I usually recommend them to apply or start looking for available positions 1 to 2 months before they're available. So for all of our positions, we don't have a necessarily like a start date for MBA, so we don't have an MBA specific program. So all of our positions we recruit for them whenever there's a business need. So for most of our positions, we're looking for people to start as soon as possible. So the positions that are open now are most likely going to be filled and closed by the time the end of the year comes around. So 1 to 2 months before you're available is what I usually recommend.
Great, thank you. Perhaps a question for you both. How would you describe the performance expectations for positions? And here I mean the review process of performance. Are there specific targets put in place? What can people expect? Do they report to their superior directly, just in terms of how things work day-to-day basis?
Mm-hmm. Right. So the objectives are actually coming from the top management, and then the levels below just cascade the objectives to the teams. So normally all the objectives are set up by the managers and in line with the main objective of the company, right, where the company wants to go in the next years. So these objectives are put together with the manager, in between employee and the manager. We have a tool, we call it internally PDR, and we assess, we evaluate the objectives are put at the beginning of the year, and then there is an assessment after 6 months, mid-year review, and then we have the end-year review. And as part of the objectives, so there is a part related to the technical job, to the day-to-day activities as well, but we do have a part for the personal development where we include courses, trainings. Those could be either online, sponsored, or from the general catalog that we have here in the company, or could be specific trainings in collaboration with the hiring manager, of course. And we have our training department who makes sure that we find the providers in the market so that the need for a specific skill can be covered.
Excellent, thank you. A candidate here is interested to learn more about the strategy roles, saying, I understand this is an in-house consulting only, or are there external projects too, and what is the career path for these roles?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have a corporate strategy department that's kind of made up of different teams. Excuse me. But we also have some consultants that we benefit from as well. But we do have an entire department that's set up to corporate strategy. So it depends on kind of your area of interest. I know I just filled a position in competitive intelligence, which is part of the corporate strategy team. They look at our competition and the market that we're playing in to see the trends that are going on in the travel industry, and seeing what Amadeus can do to make sure that we're not falling behind those trends. So it really depends on the team and what you're interested in. But no, it's not all consulting that we employ. We have a dedicated team to it too.
Thank you. Another question from the audience, if you could share with us a little bit more about the work-life balance at Amadeus.
Okay, so I can take over. We have, for example, the time schedule is from Monday to Friday from 9 to 6. However, we have the flex time already implemented in our offices, meaning that you can start in between 8 in the morning until 12, and then you can leave the offices in between 3 to 8 in the afternoon, in the evening, depending on the starting hours. So as long as you work the 8 hours per day, you can distribute them as you wish, of course, collaboration with your team and your manager. It has to be approved by your manager. And also in the case that, for example, we have, if you want to travel, for example, and you want to leave earlier on Fridays, you can generate the other hours during the week, and you can take the Friday off. I mean, you can leave the offices earlier without asking, you know, the Friday, the afternoon off from your days as holidays, right? Then we have also the remote work, but due to Spanish constraints, this is just for Spain. Then we also have a project that has been recently implemented. If you want to have an experience abroad, you can work for 6 months from one of our offices based in Ireland. I think it was Ireland, UK, Germany and France. Yeah. Then we also have, well, since last year, we have gym center here next to our offices. We go to classes, paddle, Pilates, yoga, Zumba. Yeah. And we have, the schedule could be either early in the morning during the lunchtime or in the afternoon after work.
Yeah, but the company, it really values, a good work-life balance, which is something that drew me to Amadeus from the beginning. And it's difficult to find companies like that in Spain in particular. If any of you guys are from Spain, you know that Spanish companies tend to be very bureaucratic, hierarchical. You need to be in your desk until 7, 8 p.m. and you won't find that here in Amadeus, which is something that drew me to the job.
And we also work closely with a company who gives support in any issues. It must be direct, I think, yeah, locally. And meaning that, I don't know, if you need to do some paperwork, you can call that company and the company can do it on your behalf. If you need to do your income statement and you're not Spanish, you don't know how to do it, it's the first time you have to do it, then you can call the company and then they will do it for you. So they will assist you with administration paperwork. And also these services are expanded to the first degree relatives. So in case you need to find a kindergarten for your kids, then this company can do the search for you and can come up with a few options so that you can pick and choose the one that is the best for you. Also, for the parents, if one of your parents needs, I don't know, medical service, an urgent medical service, then you can call the company and they can support you without having to, go personally. This is just another example of
there's many services that we have.
Excellent. So something that you touched upon briefly, Thomas, and I want to ask you both is, what made you want to work at Amadeus?
Yeah, for me, it was the internationalness of the company, the diversity. I'm from the U.S. and I've lived and worked in Japan and Spain and the U.S. and it's difficult to find a company that's that international, that's actually a Spanish company based here in Madrid. And so when I was originally looking for work here in Madrid, I was looking for just that, the international companies, the companies that really value diversity and English speaking, which is also difficult to find here in Spain as well. So it doesn't feel like you're working in a Spanish company. It's very international. You'll work and you'll run into people who are from all corners of the world, and that's something that was really important to me.
And in my case, as Hunter mentioned, it's true that the official language is English. So we have, for example, positions where there is no need to speak Spanish. You can work perfectly well without Spanish. People are very friendly. People are willing to help you. Every time I needed help, I can just go and ask for it. And as I mentioned before, the opinions count. I've been asked from the very beginning, Arina, what's your opinion? So I was shocked at that time because I was a trainee and I thought that I still have many things to learn before giving an opinion, right? And then yes, it's the company and the type of work where you come at work with a smile on your face and you don't have that feeling, oh, it's Monday, I have to go to work. Yes, and also what's very common, we usually have networking after work. We go out for drinks, or even at work we had like International Food Day. We celebrated the Thanksgiving Day as well, and we brought lots of sweets, candies, and food and drinks, right? So yeah, this is, and then of course there is the professional development part. So there is, you can expand your knowledge as much as you want. If you want to learn a lot, you have this option, you have this opportunity. We also have promotion processes internally. We have personal development, professional development as well, so that you can expand your knowledge as much as you want and as much as you can.
Great, thank you. I also see there's a number of MBAs working at Amadeus from a few schools. They recruit primarily from some business schools. If so, which schools? Or are you open to candidates from other schools as well?
No, we're definitely open. We find that MBA profiles are definitely beneficial, being the headquarters and where most of our business support function positions are. So you're right, we do have quite a few MBAs. A lot of them come from Spanish business schools, and a lot of them come from elsewhere around Europe. And the people who are able to come from the U.S. who have work authorization for Europe, we have quite a few people from there too. So we don't look for necessarily certain business schools that we recruit for. We're very open and welcoming of different and a variety of candidates.
Excellent. I have another question. It's a bit more business related. How has the growth of the travel meta search engines like Kayak or Scanner impacted your business?
Well, Kayak is one of our partners, no? I mean, we have these online, they're kind of online travel agents, Booking.com, for example, Expedia, but something else we're definitely looking into, and this is one of the, the corporate strategy department is looking into, is the big players like the Googles and who are coming out with their own type of almost GDS system. So it's definitely something that is in the forefront that our strategy teams are looking at, because this isn't something that we've had necessarily for the last few decades. So it's something new that's coming to the market, and it's going to be a game changer, I think. So we're looking at how we can effectively manage those newcomers.
Great. And perhaps a question for you both. How do you see the company evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, we just acquired TravelClick in the U.S., which is big into the hospitality side. So we've started as a GDS mainly servicing the airlines here in Europe. And so with these different acquisitions, we're starting to expand into different areas within the travel industry. TravelClick is going to give us a big push into hospitality and hotels. We're also, one of our main business units here in Madrid is a strategic growth business unit that we call. And they're looking at the more innovations that are coming up within the travel industry, looking at new innovations like blockchain and artificial intelligence, AR, and seeing what we can do and how we can use that to effectively grow businesses within the company. But we're definitely continuing to grow. Like I mentioned, we started as a GDS, but about a decade ago or so, we transitioned and we started diversifying into IT solutions and coming up with new software technologies to all these players within the travel industry, creating software for airlines and airports, airport IT, hotels. So we're continuously starting to acquire new companies and sign on big clients like Southwest in the U.S., and we're continuing to grow quite a bit. Do you have anything to add?
And well, we also had the leadership conference last February, where our leaders met together with our customers, and we received the feedback from the customers. And with that feedback, the top management will establish the next steps in the strategy, so that we make sure that we keep up with our customers' needs, but also with our travelers' needs. So we will definitely we will be investing more in innovation and research and in R&D areas, and this is the main point of our strategy. Of course, we will still be close to our customers, and we will still be committed to do things faster.
And what really differentiates, I think, Amadeus from some of our competitors is the amount that we do invest in research and development. So we put a lot of effort into R&D and creating new solutions and new IT softwares, which is something that not all of our competitors do to the extent that we do. So we understand that you need to constantly be pushing the boundaries and creating new technologies.
Excellent. Perhaps the last question, what type of a person succeeds at Amadeus?
Okay, so I would say curious, driven, proactive, eager to learn, and yeah, eager to improve, to become better in what you do.
And definitely that international mindset, and really valuing diversity and people who are very open-minded, because we are such an international company and you interact with people from all over the world, so it's very important to have that mentality.
Great. Another question just popped up from the audience, I think a very interesting one. How long do people stay in the same position, and how does Amadeus promote career evolution or change?
Well, I think based on my interactions with people, it's difficult to find people who've been with the company for 10 years and who've been in the same place the entire time. The company is very flexible, so we have people changing teams, changing departments, changing regions quite frequently. So I think, most people will do some kind of change after, a couple years, like 2 or 3 years. So there is that mentality of constantly evolving and constantly challenging yourself that you'll see throughout the entire organization.
Something that you just mentioned right now, Thomas, is moving offices. So we can assume then the English is the official spoken language of the company, and that it's then quite easy for people to move offices across different regions, even when they don't speak the local language.
Exactly. It depends on the position. I mean, we do have our sales offices in almost every country. If you are going into a sales role, it's probably important to have that local language, but most of the other positions don't require any language except for English.
And it's also, and it's also related to the structure that we have in the company, because in Madrid we have the commercial offices, in Nice we have the developers, and in Erding we have the processors. So we have to coordinate with them on the daily basis. So this is the reason why we do need English as a common language. So it's not the typical company that has an office in Spain and an office in France, but the offices can work independently. So this is the reason why English is the common language.
Perfect, thank you. Perhaps any last-minute recommendation, advice to the candidates before we conclude this session?
Connect with us. I mean, you have our names. Look for us on LinkedIn. Definitely check out our job board, and if you do see anything that is interesting, feel free to reach out. And I mean, both of us are more than willing to have a conversation with anybody. So.
Yep. Yeah. So this will be my advice as well. Connect with us. We can keep in touch for the future. If there is no opportunity right now for you, then you can also create your account on our website. You can create alerts for the specific area that you are interested in. So that every time we post a new vacancy, you will receive a notification from the system. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us via LinkedIn.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, the both of you, to be with us here today and taking your time. It was a pleasure to have you and to learn more about Amadeus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the candidates, the recording of the session will be available on the event website within a few hours. Thank you again, Arina and Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.